Welcome everyone to the beginners room we made today. It's Monday, and this is when we talk about the art of buying and selling. This is what we do in the market. We buy and sell. We analyze the market because we want to find trade ideas. Is the market giving us signals that the price is going to continue to the upside? For instance, in the case of the chart I have opened, market has been mainly moving upward. So is there a possibility that it's going to continue, the price is going to continue up, or is it going to start falling and moving to the downside? These are what we are trying to determine when we analyze the market. So today we'll be looking at different ways that we can analyze the market and find trade ideas from time to time on our own. If you tune in with me, whether you're joining me on YouTube or you're joining me on the Hexen Beginners Room, please do well to use the chat box. I'm here ready and willing to answer your questions. You may want to let us know what you're looking at for the week and what you're trading right now. If there are also opportunities that you discover when you're looking through the chart, you may want to let us know so that we look at it together as well. Okay. So we are going to start by looking at what we have planned for the week, what high impact news we have in the week. We will also be looking at some of the trade I have ongoing and the ones that, I'm looking, I have plans for within this week. We'll be looking at all of them. All right, so the chat box is open and sure to use it as much as possible. Good to have you here, Dele. How are you? And how was your weekend? Right. So I will start by looking at our economic calendar. Let's bring that to your screen. So we will filter for high impact news, and we want to see what high impact news we have, especially from the major zones. For US, we have the leading CB leading index for today, later today, manufacturing index as well within this week, PPI for Canada tomorrow. We have the ECB president's speech, President Lagarde speech tomorrow. And some people like to trade, for instance, the South African rand. I hardly trade it, but there is inflation report on it tomorrow that can also have some impact on the market. And then Canadian dollar, Canada interest rate decision on Wednesday is something to also pay a lot of attention to. Canada is also one of the major currencies that we trade in the market. Canadian dollar is one of the major currencies we trade in the market. We also know that, oil prices usually also having impact on Canadian dollar, or Canadian dollar has impact on it as well. So this is something that is quite important to pay attention to. On Friday, we also have for the same Canada, we're expecting the retail sales, durable good orders for the US, so these are high impact news we want to pay attention to. Initial jobless claim on Thursday would give us an idea of employment reports for the US, and that can also help us prepare for the week. We will be able to prepare for the week and even the coming week in the market with all of this. So yes, very important that you take a look at this news. They will make a lot of impacts on the market, especially these ones that you see are filtered them to see just the ones with high impact. So this will help us understand how to trade the market better. And looking at it, also, I mentioned earlier, different ways of analyzing the market that we are going to be looking at. So this may also be one of them. Canadian dollar yen that I have opened at the moment, I can see that there is a head and shoulders pattern forming there. Now back to the news that we're expecting on Canada. I also wanted to mention the fact that we're expecting a rate cut. Okay, we're expecting a 50 basis point rate cut, and if that happens, that should weaken Canadian dollar, at least, for the time being. I know that there may be the argument may be that though this is already priced into the market, but we see, for instance, this is still looking more like an uptrend. But with this pattern forming, this head and shoulders pattern that has formed there, that's bearish pattern. And normally I would be looking to do a sell if I see that kind of pattern. And now if there is also a rate cut, I think that would make me rather look for a sell than a buy here. And that would fit in with also my technical analysis, because with technical analysis, I'm seeing a reversal pattern. Let's bring out my pen tool so that I can as well show it to you. So I have the head and shoulders, the reversal pattern, the head and shoulders pattern here that has formed. Okay, looking at this, if I take this as the neckline, that would not be broken. But if I slant it a bit, I think would see that it got broken at some points. Okay, but at the same time, I'll prefer to see the current candle or any other bearish candle form and close below that's the low. If that happens, that would help me look to do a sell. I think yen is also not quite strong at the moment, and that's one of the reasons why we haven't seen much movement here. So I think I would look at card with other currencies. Maybe that's going to help us to be able to trade it better. On YouTube, we have Steven Omondi. Good to have you here, Steven. How are you doing? And have you been joining us on the Hexem Beginners Room? Be sure to do that, okay? If you do have a question based on what we are discussing today, do well to use the chat box. I'm here to answer your trading questions. Okay. So we have this pattern that I am looking forward to see whether it plays out, especially because of the expected news. Now, if based on the news, there is at the end of the day no rate cut, I think that can boost the strength of CAD, and that can move it to continue to go to the upside. That's the case where I may be looking to do a buy, but in this case, my bias is mainly bearish. And on the weekly even, you would see that the price has gone to touch the moving average, and it seems to find resistance there. So with the resistance, the dynamic resistance touched, there's a possibility that the price would continue down. Fundisil, I hope I'm pronouncing your name well. Fundisil. Good morning, nice to have you here. How are you doing? And what are you trading today? Are you an experienced trader or new to the market? Okay. All right. So that's basically that for CAD yen. I also have this GBP AUD that I have been holding on to for a while now. British pound Aussie. My trade is buy because the major trend has been bullish, and I expected that it would continue to go all the way up. Now, last week candle closed bullish, but with a wick above it. Now, back to the daily time frame. On the daily, there's this V pattern, a pullback, and it seems that we are having continuation. Today's candle is already looking bullish. Bias is still bullish on this one. Last Friday's candle had closed bullish as well. I think majority of these candles are all looking bullish at the moment. The price is also still hanging above the moving averages. So if the moving average serves as a strong support there, there's a possibility that it's going to continue to the upside. And I'll be expecting that it gets to at least that last high on the daily time frame. And if that happens, I'll take my profit and be out of the trade. So for this one, bias hasn't changed, so I'm going to just hold on to it and see how the price moves from here for the GBP AUD, right? So I mentioned that we are going to be looking at different ways of analyzing the market, mainly the three ways of analyzing the market. So I'll talk briefly about them. Then we'll come back to analyzing the market and see how we can trade different instruments. We'll be combining the different ways of analysis. But what are these different ways of analyzing the market? We have the fundamental, we have the technical, and we have the sentiment. So when we are looking at buying and selling, the heart of buying and selling, we need to be able to get a level where we are able to analyze the market properly on our own. And to do that, you need to start by having an idea, the different ways of analyzing the market, so that you either try to combine them to find a good and trade idea, or you use maybe one of them or two of them to analyze the market. So what are these different ways? Now, let's start by talking about market analysis itself. When we talk about analyzing the market, this has to do with us examining the changes to currency pair prices and the forces that are influencing these prices. So we look at our chart. What are we trying to see? How is price behaving? Are we having mainly an upward moving chart showing that the price is moving all the way up continuously, or is it falling to the downside? Um, what are the factors that are influencing these prices and making them move to the up or to the downside? Um, from the sales say, I'm doing well. I'm new and willing to learn from you guys. Okay, happy to have you here. You are in the right place. Will help you to trade well. We have different instructors on the XM Live, so please be sure to take advantage of it all the time. Come to class regularly. 8 hours a day, we are here teaching you how to trade the market well with different instructors having varied years of experience. So use the XM Live properly, beginner and advanced room. Since you're new to the market, I think you'd do well in the beginner's room for now. And as you gain experience, you can decide to move on to the advanced room. Okay. Stephen Monday says, I'm a beginner and I've lost a lot of money in trading. How can you help me get the knowledge? Okay, interesting. Be sure to have your account registered with XM. If you have not done so, make sure you have a live account and then log into your back office. When you log in, find on the side there, I think the drop down there, you're going to see where there's education. Okay, under education, click to join the classes, the live education class. You can join the beginner's room for now, since you said you're a beginner. Yes, you can join us regularly on the beginner's room. We have different instructors that will help you to learn to do trading better. We handle, everything about trading. You are going to see how to analyze the market on your own. So you will also be able to learn, risk management, money management, everything is done to help you to do trading better, so that you would know what you're doing wrong that is making you lose your money in the market, and how to trade better. So be sure to join class regularly. In the next minutes or so, I would be out of YouTube and I'll be fully in the beginner's room. Be sure to join me there. I think that's going to help you, Steven, on YouTube. Okay. Okay. So we said that we are analyzing what is analysis from the sale. You're welcome. Okay, so it is used by forex traders who are looking to buy and sell currency with the goal of making a profit. Sometimes we feel, oh, I'm involved in the market today because I bought euro, I bought dollar with my own currency. Yes, somehow you've been involved in the market, but you're not here as a trader because you're not in it for the sake of making a profit. Okay, you're not in it for the sake of making a profit. And since you're not in it for the sake of making a profit, you're likely not going to be doing market analysis. You're likely not going to go through, these different ways of analyzing the market that we are talking about today. You just want maybe the currency because you're traveling and you can't spend your own country's currency in that other country. Okay. But if you start to analyze the market for the sake of, for the purpose of making a profit, then you're going to be looking at these different ways of analyzing the market: technical analysis, fundamental, sentiment analysis. Which one is the best? How can you use them in analyzing the market? These are questions that people will ask from time to time. Is there one that is better than the other, or do I have to combine all of them? Now, let's first look at each of them one after the other before we move on.